Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss a very important APSC mains question from Jainism. Jainism is primarily an ethical religion, discuss the core principles of Jainism and highlights the major teaching of Mahavira. This is a high probability 10 to 15 marks question, so stay till the end. Before directly answering, let's quickly have an overview of Jainism so that you get a complete conceptual base. Jainism is an ancient Indian religion of Samana tradition. Here, Samana traditions means non-Vedic religious movement that emerged around 6th century BCE, parallel to Vedic tradition. Systemized by Mahavira, Jainism has no single founder. It evolved over time and systemized by Mahavira, the 24th Tirthankara. It emphasizes non-violence, truth, ethical conduct, liberation, and asceticism. Core philosophy: 3 Ratna, right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. 5 great vows: Mahabharatas, Ahimsa, non-violence, absolute non-violence in thought, word, and deed. Satya, truth, always speaking and living truthfully. Aparigraha, non-possessiveness, renunciation of materialistic property. Asteya, non-stealing, not taking anything that is not freely given. The 23rd Tirthankara Parsvanatha taught these 4 vows. Mahavira added the Brahmacharya, celibacy, as the 5th vow, making them the 5 Mahabharatas. Brahmacharya, meaning self-control over desire, made Jain ethical code more strict and comprehensive. Next, key philosophical concept or idea. Ahimsa is central, non-killing even microbes, and strict vegetarianism. Syadavara, doctrine of Maivism, promoting relative truth. Anekantavara, doctrine of multiplicity of viewpoint. Moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth, death through self-discipline and purification. Karma is material substance that binds to the soul. Liberation is achieved by burning of karma through asceticism. Metaphysics, nature of reality, soul and matter. Universe is made up of Jiva, soul, and Ajiva, non-soul. Jainism rejects the idea of a creator of God. Tirthankaras. There are 24 Tirthankaras in Jain religion. Tirthankaras means teacher, who help cross the ocean of samsara, means liberation or moksha. First Tirthankara was Rishabhanath, 24th, and the last one was Mahavira. Sect of Jainism. Satambaras, white clad, wear white cloth, believed that Mahavira was married, allowed women into monastic life, led by Stulbhadra, remains in the North India, believe in Agamas. Agamas contains the teaching of Tirthankaras. Digambaras, sky-clad, practice nudity, believe that Mahavira unmarried, more austere, do not allow female monk to attain moksha in current life. Led by Bhadrabahu, he played a key role in guiding Chandragupta Maurya to adopt Jainism. Spread Jainism towards South India. Reject Agamas. Next, Jain literature. Written in Prakrit and Ardha Magadhi, later in Sanskrit. Agamas are the sacred scripture for Satambaras. Tattvartha Sutra by Umaswati, only text accepted by both. Kalpa Sutra by Bhadrabahu. Other prominent texts are Nandi Sutra and Bhagavati Sutra. Next, art and architecture. Temples, monuments, and caves. Dilwara Temple, Mount Abu. Shravana Belagola monuments. Statue of Gomateswara Bahubali, Karnataka. Palitana temples, Gujarat. Udaigiri and Khandagiri caves, Orissa. Patron was Kharavela. Ellora caves. Caves No 30 belongs to Jain. Jain symbols. Jain emblem include Ahimsa hand, palm with a wheel, Dharmasakra in the center, meaning stop violence. Ahimsa represent peace and protection of all living beings. Swastika represent 4 states of existence: heaven, human, animal, plant, and hell. 3 dots represent 3 Ratna: right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. Crescent with dot, meaning liberated soul, symbolizes ultimate moksha. Om, Om in Jainism represents the five supreme beings known as Panch Paramesthri, Arihant, Siddhacharya, Upadhyaya, Sadhu, and Navakar mantra. While the written sign looks similar to the Hindu Om, but it holds a distinct meaning compared to its use in Hinduism. Here an important point: practice of Chaturmas. Chaturmas is a period of monsoon retreat for monks. It is the 4-month period where monks restrict movement during monsoon, reflect the practical application of non-violence by avoiding harm to living beings. Chaturmas help in spirit of teaching, interaction with lay followers, strengthening community ethics, promote non-violence. Royal patrons of Jainism. Chandragupta Maurya, most prominent patron, became a Jain ascetic under Bhadrabahu, spent his last days at Savana Belagola. Kharavela, powerful ruler of Kalinga, Orissa, promoted Jainism actively, contributed to caves like Udaygiri and Khandagiri. Rashtrakutas dynasty patronized Jain art and architecture, contributed to sites like Ellora caves. Western Ganga dynasty, strong supporter of Jainism, built monuments like Savana Belagola. Jain councils. First council was held in Pataliputra, Bihar by Sthalvabhadra around 3rd century BC, resulted in compilation of Jain agamas, preservation of teaching of Mahavira. Second council held in Mathura, and the chairman was Skandil. The third council was held at Ballavi, Gujarat in 5th century AD under the chairmanship of Devardhi and resulted in final compilation and written form of 12 agamas and 12 upangas. Rule of Mahavira. Mahavira was the last and 24 Tirthankaras. Liberation. As a model for Jains' liberation. He served as a model for Jains, demonstrating the path to achieving liberation, moksha, from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth through self-discipline and spiritual practice. Preacher of Jain principles. Mahavira's teachings are compiled in the Agama Sutra, which are considered the foundational text of Jainism. Emphasis on non-violence. His most prominent teaching was ahimsa, emphasizing non-violence towards living beings, advocating for peaceful and compassionate approach to life and ecology. Founder of Fourfold Order or Sangha, Mahavira organized his followers into a fourfold order: monk, sadhu, nun, sadhvi, layman, Sravak, laywoman, Sravika, forming the basis of the Jain community. Advocated asceticism and self-discipline. He advocated importance of austerity, self-discipline, and renunciation of materialistic possessions as a means to spiritual progress. Promoter of ethical conduct. His teaching also include the 5 great vows or Mahabhratas: ahimsa, satya, aparigraha, asteya, brahmacharya. Brahmacharya added later by Mahavira, which are central to Jain ethics. Next, causes of rise. Due to complex ritual of Hindus, due to Brahmanical supremacy, caste or Varna system, which discriminate the lower caste, such as untouchability and not allowing to enter temples. Use of local language. Teaching delivered in Prakrit made it accessible to common people. Causes of decline. Extreme asceticism. Jainism was very extreme, unable to bear by the lower division of the society, made it difficult for mass appeal. Competition from the other religion. Gets rigid competition from Hinduism and Buddhism. Lack of royal patronage. Decline support after the Gupta period. Rigid ethical code. Strict observance of ahimsa and Mahabhartas were not practical for everyday life. Sectarian division, splitted into Setambaras and Digambaras, led to differences and weakened unity. Digambaras nudity, not accepted by the Indians. Limited missionary zeal. Jain monks were more ascetic and less missionary oriented, which makes slower spirit compared to Buddhism. Next, contribution to Indian society. Ethical impact. non-violence, truthfulness, and non-stealing, promotes honesty and integrity. Social rule: reject complex Hindu ritual, reject Brahmanical supremacy, reject the rigid caste system, promote vegetarianism, promote peace and harmony in society. Environmental ethics: respect for all life forms, support animal protection, biodiversity protection, and sustainable development. Economic impact: encourage urban life, promote trade and businesses. Cultural impact: patronize art, literature, and architecture. Preserve the ancient scripture Prakrit. Ellora, inscribed as a World Heritage Site, includes regional dialect in its text. Impact on individual ethics: promoted charity, non-possession of excessive materialistic property, self-discipline, tolerance, restrict over-consumerism, reduces greed and anger, leads to inner peace, promote rational thinking through Anekantavara and Syadvara. Impact on public administration: ahimsa, non-abuse of power, satya, promote transparency and accountability, asteya, no corruption or fraud, help civil servant act ethically and responsibly. Corporate ethics: aparigraha, avoid excessive profit motive, promote ethical business practices. Next, relevance in modern times. Mahavira's principles of non-violence, truthfulness, and non-stealing continue to be relevant in addressing contemporary issues like promoting conflict resolution, avoid over-consumerism and materialism, promote ethics and integrity in public service administration, promote peace and harmony. Non-violence influenced the Gandhian principles. Spiritualism influenced the Aurobindo Ghosh and Swami Vivekananda. Jain community actively involved in modern education, charity, and ethical business. Campaign for animal rights and biodiversity preservation. Here we have ended the overview of Jainism. So, Jainism, though not a mass religion, has significantly shaped Indian philosophy, art, and ethical traditions. Its emphasis on non-violence, truth, and tolerance makes it deeply relevant in contemporary socio-political discourse. Now that we have a clear overview of Jainism, its philosophy, principles, and contributions, you can see that the topic is no longer confusing. With this understanding, you can easily tackle any APSC mains question on Jainism, whether it is about ethics, Mahavira, Jain principles, philosophy, or its impact on society. So let's now move to the main question and structure the answer properly. Introduction: write like this. Jainism is an ancient Indian religion of Shramana tradition, a non-Vedic religious movement that emerged around 6th century BC. Systemized by Mahavira, is primarily an ethical religion that emphasizes non-violence, truth, ethical conduct, moral discipline, liberation, and asceticism. Core principle of Jainism: Tririyatna, core philosophy, right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. Next, 5 great vows, Mahavratas: ahimsa, non-violence, absolute non-violence in thought, word, and deed; satya, truth, always speaking and living truthfully; aparigraha, non-possessiveness, renunciation of materialistic property; asteya, non-stealing, not taking anything that is not freely given; brahmacharya, celibacy, self-control over desire. You can also write in short like this: ahimsa, satya, aparigraha, asteya, and brahmacharya, complete moral code of life. Syadvara, doctrine of Maivism, promoting relative truth. Anekantavara, doctrine of multiplicity of viewpoint. Moksha, liberation, liberation from the circle of birth, death, through self-discipline and purification. Karma theory, karma is material substance that binds to the soul. Liberation is achieved by burning of karma through asceticism. Metaphysics, nature of reality, soul and matter. Universe is made up of jiva, soul, and ajiva, non-soul. Jainism rejects the ideas of a creator of God. Next, major teaching of Mahavira: Last Tirthankara. Mahavira was the last and 24th Tirthankara's liberation. He served as a model for Jains, demonstrating the path to achieving liberation, moksha, from the circle of birth, death, and rebirth through self-discipline and spiritual practice. Preacher of Jain principles. Mahavira's teachings are compiled in the Agama Sutra, which are considered the foundational text of Jainism. Emphasis on non-violence. His most prominent teaching was Ahimsa, emphasizing non-violence towards living beings, advocating for peaceful and compassionate approach to life and ecology. Founder of Fourfold Order or Sangha, Mahavira organized his followers into a fourfold order: monk, sadhu, nun, sadhvi, layman, shravak, laywoman, shravika. Advocated asceticism and self-discipline. He advocated importance of austerity, self-discipline, and renunciation of materialistic possessions as means to spiritual progress. Promoter of ethical conduct. His teaching also include the 5 great vows or Mahabhratas: Ahimsa, Satya, Aparigraha, Asteya, Brahmacharya. In conclusion, write: thus, Jainism is an ethical religion, emphasized on non-violence, truth, and self-discipline. Teaching of Mahavira transform it into a comprehensive moral philosophy. If you structure your answer like this: introduction plus principles plus Mahavira's teaching and conclusion, you will easily score high marks. I hope you found this helpful. See you in the next video. Thank you.